Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtike कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रहे ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनि इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So,
Hare Krishna.
welcome you all once again. Today we'll continue our discussion from where we have left yesterday. So, we have been revising Canto 10. Let me share my screen. So, we have discussed these few points. Uh, so, let's go revise quickly. We discussed about yesterday about advent of Lord Sri Krishna, and then the prayers by the devatas, and the birth of Lord Sri Krishna, and how Krishna kills all these demons in Vrindavan. Then how Lord Krishna showed his universal form to Mother Yasoda within his mouth. And then we see in a very nice pastimes of Damodar Lila, which is also well known as, auspicious Kartik month, where all Krishna did this pastime as well. And on the whole Kartik month, we used to offer lamb to Lord Damodar. Damodar, that's a very auspicious month, comes as the Damodar month. And then we discussed a very nice pastime about Brahma Vimohana, how Lord Brahma became bewildered by seeing Lord Krishna's activity, and at the end he says, Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gopa Bhajo Prasham. Yen Mitran Paramananda Purna Brahma Sanatana. So what glory is what the fortune to all this Gopagana to Brajavasis, that Krishna has become their friend. Yen Mitran Paramananda, Paramananda, who is Lord Sri Krishna, has become their friend. So that's how they are most fortunate. Aho Bhagyam. That's Brahma's prayer. And then we discussed about a couple of more Lord Brahma's prayer to Lord Sri Krishna. And then even Lord Brahma says that just by having a slight mercy of yours, lotus feet, a person can understand things. But by studying the Vedas for years and years, it's not possible to understand you. And then we discussed about Lord dancing on the head of Kaliya, how Kaliya being subdued, he started dancing, and also Krishna's got a name Nataraj. He danced on the hoods of the Kaliya very very efficiently, because it's very very difficult to dance on a slippery floor, and the head of a serpent is, or the skin of serpent is very very slippery, and Lord danced over there. And then we've seen how Krishna swallowed all the forest fire as well once. Actually, this pastime happened twice. And then we'll discuss last yesterday that how Brahmana's wives were blessed by Lord Hari, Lord Sri Krishna and Balram. We will continue from there. So today we'll see that nice pastimes as Govardhana Lila. Here again, Lord Krishna subdued the pride of Indra, and Lord Krishna was just 7 years, and this Gopaganas, headed by Nanda Maharaj, and all so many priests, they are actually making an arrangement for a sacrifice for sacrifice for Lord Indra, so that Indra would pour water and rain and everything. And then Lord Sri Krishna says, he inquired more about from Nanda Maharaj, why this, why and how and what are these. I just want to know more and more. And then Nanda Maharaj says, you are a small child, but anyway, you should tell us as well. Then Nanda Maharaj spoke to him about this, the sacrifice, and then Lord Krishna insisted everyone to do sacrifice of Govardhana hill, because Govardhana provides everything, provides shelter, food, tree, the branches, and water, and everything. And then at the end, by suggestion of Lord Sri Krishna, everyone agreed to Lord Krishna, and they observed a nice festival for Govardhan, Lord Govardhan, and the mountain Govardhan. And then Indra, he started, when he knew all these things, he started tormenting with so many, huge uh, rain. The rains are like iron rods. And then we discussed all this past time. Then Lord Krishna efficiently, with his left hands and the pinky finger, with the weakest finger or weakest part of the body, he actually hold this Govardhan Parvat in his hand, and everyone, all these gopas, all these gopis, the cows, and everyone, they could actually come inside that. And it's been described that on top of the Govardhan hill, the Sudarshan Chakra was actually revolving, so that all rains, nothing could come inside that. And then, and how any video described very nicely that in that past time, Lord Krishna, while he was lifting this Govardhan hill, everyone was listening something, their relationship with Lord Krishna's gopas. They are enjoying the friendship, the gopis in the lover mood, and Mother Yasoda in a parental mood. How Krishna is actually he lifting this Govardhan hill. And after this Leela, uh, Indra, he came with Suravi, and they offered their obeisance to Lord Sri Krishna. And then how they understand that yes, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Indra's pride being crushed by this Leela. And then it comes the time for Rasa Leela, and where this is the most 5 confidential chapters or Rasa Panchadhyaya, it's being said. And here, normally Prabhupada recommends that directly we should not enter into this reading these pastimes of Rasa Leela, because before entering to Rasa Leela, we should understand who Krishna is and what the Rasa Leela means. It's not mundane dance, and we have discussed elaborately in our discussion with that. And then how we seen Lord Krishna invited everyone, and then they made a Rasa dance. And even to enter, this is transcendental, because to enter in this Rasa Leela, even Lord Shiva, Narada Muni, they transform themselves as gopis, Naradiya gopi, and then Mahadev, so Gopeshwar Mahadev. So they all transformed themselves. They became as gopi to take part in this Rasa Leela. Then how this Rasa Leela can be mundane, isn't it? But to understand this factor, to understand this Rasa Leela is transcendental, we need to understand very well that who Lord Krishna is, and we need to follow his footsteps. We do not have to imitate those. And I just read the prayers what gopis made for this pastimes of Lord Hari. This says, it's a Gopi Gita, very, very beautiful one. This Tava Kathamritam Tattva Jivanam. So I'll read the translations. The nectar of your words and the description of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. So anyone, any the soul who are suffering in this material world, their life and soul is the nectarian words of Lord Krishna's pastimes and his activities. And then they says these narrations transmitted by learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon upon whoever hears them. So anyone who hears these pastimes of Lord Hari, 2 things happens. What happens? It bestows good fortune, as well at the same time it eradicate the sinful reactions. So by hearing the pastimes of Lord Hari, which is being chanted by the great learned sages, that takes away our sinful reaction as well as is bestow good fortune. And then the gopi says, these narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with the spiritual power. So this provides spiritual power as well. And certainly those who spread this message of Godhead are most magnificent. So that's a message actually to every one of us to try to spread the message of Lord Hari to as many as people we could, right? And there are so many prayers by the gopis for Lord Hari. And we've seen how the past times Lord Krishna went from there as well, and then again he came back to do this rasa dance with everyone. And in fact, this pastime, if you see that all the gopis actually they are seeing that Krishna is dancing with her, isn't it? So Krishna expanded himself in that very form as well, so to give pleasure to all the gopis. And then the Nanda Maharaj was being saved by a serpent. That's Vidyadhara. Actually, Nanda Maharaj, all they went for worship of Lord Shiva, and there the serpent actually he started swallowing Nanda Maharaj, and they all uh, started screaming. Lord Krishna came and touched that serpent that become Vidyadhara, and then he narrated his stories that how he got a curse from a sages, and then Nanda Maharaj was saved by this as well. And then these are the all kind of very briefly pastimes of Vrindavan Lila. And now Krishna is actually he is going to enter into Mathura. So he is ready to leave Mathura. And now Akrura, he so Kansa has made a plan. Kansa has understood very well that this Krishna is the one who for whom he was actually looking for. And then he made a plan to invite Krishna to an arena of where the fighting will happen, and then this his Chanura Mushtika, this great wrestler, they would try to kill Krishna. That was his plan. So they thought whom to send to Vrindavan so that Krishna would come, and then they chose Akrura. And Akrura was being sent. However, Akrura didn't wanted to go. He wanted to go to see Krishna, but not with the intention to bring Krishna and get killed by Kansa. Even Akrura, he says to Kansa that it's not good, it's not right, and but anyway, he says, okay, this is the providence, so I'll go and call Krishna. And then when Krishna Balram, uh, when Akrura actually went, we see in very nice pastimes how this gopi they try to stop Akrura to take away Krishna. And even the gopis they say how Krishna is merciless, he is going away from us, he has no heart, kind of things. That's out of love. And we see while Akrura coming back to leaving Vrindavana, just before leaving Vrindavana, when he went in the river, he could see that these two personalities sitting on his chariot, Krishna and Balram, they are none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And first he could see in the when he went inside this ocean and a river to take his shower, he see Krishna and Balram in front of him, and then he got out from his river, and then he saw Krishna Balram in the chariot as well. He got confused, and then again he dived again to see, and then he saw another form of Lord Krishna, Balrama being the Sheshanag, and Lord Krishna is lying as Mahavishnu, Vishnu on the serpent, and Lakshmi Devi is massaging his lotus feet. So by seeing this, Akrura understood very well, and he offered his prayer to Lord Krishna and Balram. And there's very nice pastimes happened within Akrura and Krishna and Balram. And then when they reached Mathura, and then at the time Lord Krishna says that, okay, Akrura, you can go now, and we will take a tour to Mathura, because we are coming to the city for the first time, because they have been living in a village, right? So Mathura city, so they wanted to go all around, and there are so many pastime happened, like how this Kubja been delivered, and then how this washerman, who is a very very proud washerman, who, because I was hearing today's lecture, they had been described very nicely. It was another topic, but this point came as well, that a washerman, there are so many washermen in Mathura. However, this washerman actually used to wash the clothes of king. So he has a direct connection with the king. That's why he has become so proud, isn't it? So sometimes it happens when we have a connection or higher connection with someone, we become proud. And this Gopas and the Krishna, they humbly, politely came and asked this washerman, please give some clothes to us, we'll wear. And then he started blaspheming, how dare you to wear these clothes of Kansa, him and all these things. And Krishna killed him. And then that's pastimes of killing of this washerman. And then uh, Lord Krishna broke this sacrificial bow. That's again, and with this breaking the bow, he killed so many these soldiers of Kansa, and Kansa became more frightened by this pastimes, right? And then okay, I've spoken this one. Sacrificial broken, and then uh, Kansa has another plan. He made a Kuvalayapida, the elephant. He made a plan that let this elephant drink so much of intoxication, so that he would kill Krishna and Balram when they come, and before the entry of this arena. And that's how happened. But unfortunately, or we can say fortunately, Kuvalayapida has been killed by Krishna and Balram. And Krishna, and also Krishna being this Kuvalayapada's driver, he was also being killed. And then Krishna entered the arena, and we see in very nicely that how all this, when Krishna was invited by Chandra and Mustika to fight for a war, uh, or Malla Yuddha, like war for the death. And everyone was actually not in connection with that, or no one was agreeing to the point that Krishna and Balram, being very soft and very as a small child, and they would be fighting with these great wrestlers. But at the end, Krishna and Balram accepted their invitation, and very very easily they killed uh, these demons, maybe as demons in the form of this uh, the soldiers of Kansa. And then when Kansa, he took out his sword to kill Krishna. Krishna killed Kansa as well. And then he left, he took out Ugrasen from this prison and gave the kingdom to Ugrasen, and he established well in Mathura. And after that, uh, then Lord Krishna went to take his study uh, to Sandipuni Muni's ashram, where we'd seen this learning comes to us that even Lord Krishna, who is all perfect, still he had accepted spiritual masters. He took a shelter of spiritual master to understand things. That's how it's a teaching to us. You know, Krishna doesn't need anything; he knows everything. But still, he went there to teach us that as a normal human being, we should also take a spiritual master and understand this great philosophy under his shelter. And then we've seen how there has a friendship happened with Sudama, and also Lord Krishna, in 64 days and 64 nights, he understood the 64 arts completely, fully by Sandipuni Muni, all the type of arts which is there. And in just one day, he's perfected everything. And then at the end, the Sandamuni Muni and Sandipuni, his wife, they wanted to get their son back, because Sandipuni Muni's wife, she thought that no, these are not ordinary people. These are actually extraordinary. It looks to be supreme personality of Godhead. So they asked for something extraordinary to get back his son, and Lord Krishna fulfilled that desire of Sandipuni Muni as well as his wife, and the son came from uh, uh, what do we say? Yeah, from Yamalokas. And then uh, in between it comes, Krishna wanted to establish Dwarika. So before that, uh, Mucukand, So Mucukanda was delivered. So Kaliya won. So before this, there is a fight happened between Jarasandh, Jarasandh and Lord Krishna for many time, because after killing of Kansa, so Jarasandh became angry and he attacked Krishna, and he wanted to fight with Mathura and Krishna, and he's been defeated many times. And the Lord Krishna says to Balaram that no, to not kill this Jarasandh, let him live, because he will go back again and bring so many, these soldiers, and we will kill them every time. We don't have to worry about bringing all these people. And 17 times he's been defeated. And then in between Kaliya one, he was being invited by uh, Jarasandha as well, and Kaliya one wants to attack from other side, and Lord Krishna thought now it's time to go do some other pastime, and he took all this Mathuravashi and back into new city Dwarika. So he established Dwarika, and after everyone being placed in Dwarika, they could not remember everything about Mathura, and they started living in that Dwarika opulent city. And in the same time, Kaliya one attacked, and Lord Krishna said, "Okay, I'll fight with you alone." And Lord Krishna made him run after him, and then he hid in a cave where Mucukanda again was great devotee of Lord. Mucukanda has earlier he has helped devatas to fight against demons, and he was victorious. So because of that, he has gone a boon from devata, that he will go into a deep sleep, and anyone who makes him awake, and by his first sight he will burn to ashes. So that's how Krishna wanted to deliver Mucukanda as well. So Kaliya one was being trapped into that plan, and Krishna when entered into this cave, uh, the, the, he could see Mucukanda lying, and thinking that Krishna is lying here, and he make Mucukanda awake, and by Muchukanda's sight, Kaliya one died, and then Krishna came in front of Mucukand, and Mucukand went back to Godhead after that. After and then that's what we discussed about how Mucukand being delivered, and then there is nice pastimes of how the Rukmini Devi, the marriage of Rukmini and uh, other wives or queens of Lord Krishna in Dwarika. So 8 primary queens and 10,000 others queens, 10,100 actually. Sorry, 16,100 other queens and 8 primary queens. So that's how we see in the Rukmani. Rukmini Devi actually she used to hear about the pastimes of Lord Hari from Narada and other sages. So she had attractions towards Lord Sri Krishna, and she wanted to marry him. And that's also a learning comes that when we hear about Krishna, when we hear about the Krishna Katha, we become attracted towards Lord Hari as well. And then we've seen how Rukmini Devi sends a Brahmana to Lord Krishna that okay, tomorrow is my marriage, so and you should come. And that's how Krishna kidnapped. And Rukmi was again, he was not in favor of this marriage. He wanted Rukmini to get married with Shishupal, but Rukmini Devi wanted to get married with Lord Sri Krishna. And even uh, Rukmani was actually Krishna was about to kill Rukmi as well, but Rukmini Devi she said no, and then even Lord Balrama says no, you should not kill Rukmi, and that's how after that we've seen gradually one by one how Lord Krishna married to others queens, and then it's a very nice pastime of Syamantaka jewel where Satrajita has got a boon from Lord Sun God. So from Sun God, he has a boon that he used to offer his prayers, and that used to provide him so much of gold every day. And because of that, he was become very very he's thinking himself very, very proud. And even uh, it being suggested to Satrajit that you should give this to the king, to Krishna, but he denied. And once what happened, Satyajit's brother, he took this Samantaka jewel and went to the forest, and there he was being killed by a lion, And again, Jamavat was there, and Jamavat actually he killed this uh, lion, and he took the jewel, and his jewel, uh, his daughter Jamavati was playing with this Samantaka jewel. And however, the news spread that Krishna has taken this jewel. So to prove this prove that this is wrong, Krishna with others, they went to find the Samantaka jewel, and they found uh, that in the cave. And then Krishna asked everyone to live there, and he entered in the cave, and there's a fight happened between Jamavat. And then Jamavat, he was being instructed that no one will be able to fight with you except Lord Rama. So at the end, he could understand that, okay, he is Lord Ram. And then he says, why you are visiting with me? And then he gifted not only that jewel, he also given his daughter Jamavati to Lord Sri Krishna. And then even after that, Lord Krishna, after bringing this jewel, he went to Satrajita and gave back to him. He says, it's your property, you keep it, I do not need it anyway. But Satrajit, he became so much humiliated, and then uh, he gave his daughter uh, Satyabhama, and as well as jewel to Lord Sri Krishna as well at the end. So that's how Lord Krishna married to Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama, Jamavati, Kalindi, and Mitravinda and others. And after that, there is a fight happened between the Banasur, actually who was the father of Usha, and we have discussed here. Usha had, she used to get a dream of someone, and in the dream at the end they could her one of the servants, she could actually make the painting, and at the end she could make a painting of Pradyumna. And then uh, the fight happened with Banasur. Banasur actually he's got a boon from Lord Shiva, and even Lord Shiva was used to protect Banasur as well. But there, uh, the Banasur was again defeated. It was not being killed. It was just defeated with by Lord Sri Krishna. And then there was a nice pastime happened with the deliverance of Nrga. So uh, Nrga was actually he was a son of Ikshvaku, and he had turned to lizard by the curse of Brahmanas. Remember the past time that Nrga actually has donated so many cows to a Brahmanas, and one of the cow he returned back to his kingdom, and then with this cow he donated to another Brahmana. So this Brahmana, they fought with each other, said this cow is mine, it was gifted to us, gifted to me earlier. And they both went to King Nrga, and then Nrga says that, okay, I can give you so much more, don't worry for that. But they said, we want this one only. And as he has turned his color, that's why he became a lizard in his next life. And once the sons, uh, they were actually went to play, they could see that they become thirsty, and they could see in a well there's a huge lizard, and they tried to lift it, but they could not do so. They went back and say to Krishna. Krishna came there, and by holding his hand he lifted this lizard, and after that his lizard transformed into his own form, and then he got delivered. uh, and then we see pastimes of Paundraka. uh, Paundraka, he's tried to spread everyone that I am the real Vasudeva, I am the real Krishna, and he is my copy, he is doing everything. And Paundraka was, he has made himself as good as Krishna. He has all councils and lotus and other things, even in a chakra as well. But he even sent a message to Krishna that, give up your false identity, otherwise I will kill you. And then Krishna came back, and by his own chakra he killed Paundraka. And then we've seen how he made a plan to kill Jarasandh and Bhima. Bhima actually was the intermediate to kill Jarasandh. They went to Jarasandh used to go to temple every day, and he used to give so many charity. And on that place, Krishna Arjuna and Bhima, they disguised themselves as a Brahmana and they went there and asked for a fight. And Jarasandha chose Bhima to fight, but it went along. And Krishna indicated that how to kill Jarasandha, and Jarasandha was being killed. And Jarasandha's son, uh, I think it was Shatrughan, I guess. Sorry, I forgot the name. And his son was actually given the throne after that. And then after that, we see where Yudhishthira Maharaj, he wanted to perform a Rajasuya Yajna, and in that Rajasuya Yajna, so many people were, all kings were being invited, and there they all agreed that the first Arga should be given to Lord Sri Krishna, and the Sisupal didn't agree to them, and then he blasphemed. Though Sisupal was his cousin brother, but he blasphemed, started saying false words towards Krishna, and there was a condition that once Sisupal continuously gives 100 false word to Krishna, he would be killed. And Krishna warned him about that, but he didn't. That was his end, kind of thing. So Sisupal crossed this limit, and he was being killed by Krishna's chakra. And that in that past time, we see that even not a single drop of blood came out from there. And Sisupal, though we discussed earlier that he was one of the Jaya and Vijay, so he again he entered into Lord Krishna's body and went back to the Vaikuntha Loka. And after hearing the killing of Shishupal, Dantakvakra became he envious, and he stopped Krishna for fight, and then he was being killed as well. And very last pastime of Sudama. Sudama is the Brahmana. He was completely absorbed in Lord Krishna's remembrance by the uh, by the request of his wife. I think so, Vrinda. He went to Lord Krishna to see Lord Krishna, and that the past times how Krishna he got just some flat rice with his hand, and just by that flat rice, Lord Krishna gave him all opulent into Sudama's palace. So that's again a learning comes here that Krishna is not actually looking for something opulent from us. He's just looking for love and devotion, right? He's not hungry, right, for us to feed him. He is not hungry for us to serve him. Actually, he is more merciful to us that we cannot associate with Krishna directly. So he has taken a form of deities in the form of wood, in the form of metal, in the form of stone. He has come to us so that we can serve and we can get blessed, right? So we can make so many opulent offering to Krishna. That's good if you can do. However, Krishna can you please just by patram pushpam phalam toyam, but the condition is you may bhaktaya parashati, with the devotion once offer I accept everything. Right. And then Krishna and Balram, they went to Kurukshetra for one of these lunar eclipse, and there they met all these inhabitants of Vrindavana. Even Krishna met the gopis, even to Nanda Maharaj, and everyone. Even the so many sages came there. They made a great sacrifice there, and even Vasudeva they met with. I mean, all the people of Brajavasi as well as Vrindavana, they met there to each other. And then when Lord Krishna went back to Dvaraka, uh, Mother Devaki sees a desire to see her 6 sons which are being killed by Kansa. So Lord, because Mother Devaki says that you have already brought the son of your Sandipuni Muni, the spiritual master. So please get my sons too. So Lord Krishna and Balaram, they went to Sutalaloka where Bali Maharaj was there, and they gave darshan to Bali Maharaj as well. And from there they retrieved the 6 sons. Right. Uh, there's a couple of more, and then we see a past times how Lord Shiva being saved from Brikashur. So Brikashur he worshipped Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was pleased. So he wanted to ask a boon, and Lord he said that okay, please give me a boon that whomsoever head I put my hand, he becomes ash, or that's why he's called as a Bhasmasuthu. So, but so he wanted to try on Lord Shiva at first instance, and Lord Shiva started, going away from him. And Krishna, by understanding this, he came in between, and he says, you do not know about that. After this quarrel happened between Lord Shiva and Daksha, his bone are no more working. You can try in your head. And Brikashur put his hand on his head, and he burned to ashes. So, and then Krishna and Arjuna, they retrieve a Brahmana's son. So we've seen in Dvaraka there was a Brahmana actually whose son was to die as soon as he get born, he used to die. So this Brahmana started cursing that is because of the king, because I'm not doing anything, and because of the impiety of king, my son is dying, and because of it is the responsible of the king. So he blasphemed even Krishna as well. But Arjuna made a vow that, okay, next time I'll protect you very nicely. And he made so many arrangements to protect his son, but he could not do. So Arjuna has given a promise that if I could not do, I will put myself in fire. And he initiated a fire, but Krishna came there and he stopped him. And then Krishna and Arjuna, they both went to spiritual world. They go to Vishnu Lok actually, and from there, from Mahavishnu, they retrieve the Brahmana sons, and they come back and given all the sons to this Brahmana. And then how at the end, Lord Krishna's pastimes and glories has been described in last chapter. So that's how I think we end chapter. Is it? Yeah. So we end summary of Canto 10 in a very, very brief way. So if anyone have any questions or any thought or want to share something, if I missed, so please do so. Okay, if nothing, then we can stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue with Canto 11 and Canto 12. So hopefully we'll finish tomorrow, and then we'll see. I will try to have one more session, maybe possibly on Thursday or Friday, with a very few important verses from Srimad Bhagavatam that we can take to our own daily practices. Right. So thank you, everyone. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
प्रभुपाद की
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.